All right, so in today's video, we're doing quick hits. We're looking at 3 projects in the crypto space that I have my eye on in the play to earn crypto arena, and it may do you value to do the same. So let's start with the first one here. We're gonna be talking about Syn City. So Syn City is a play to earn game that's free to play, and it's based on the Mafia metaverse. You're able to join a syndicate, run a business, tax your underlings, and pay tribute to your bosses through blockchain. Sounds pretty sick. With enough ambition, power, and swagger, you can sit at the head of the syndicate and help chart the course of the Mafia metaverse. Founding team. So Syn City was co-founded by Roy Liu. He's a former head of Tron, US's operations. He has work experience in PopCamp Games, which if you're not familiar with, that's Plants vs. Zombies. And he also worked for 4Game, the Chinese equivalent to Zynga. Big deal. His other co-founder, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Mihai Pahatinu, is currently the CEO of Amber, game development agency based in Bucharest, Romania. And Mihai has extensive work history as a VP of emerging platforms for Samsung. And he oversaw operations at Disney Interactive and led the development of a little game called Disney Frozen Freefall, which only gathered about 2 million users. So, right off the bat, we know it's a team that has some experience in gaming, and they're coming together to put this thing together. I'm pumped. I'm excited. So we're talking about growth potential. This thing's new. It went live on markets on the 26th. And of course, it went ahead and traded downwards after that initial listing. Probably people offloading their tokens. But we look at what else can drive this thing forward. We're talking about building an NFT marketplace. You go ahead and buy, sell, and trade your NFT assets. In addition to that, they also have blueprints that are up there right now as NFTs that give your guns and characters special perks and abilities. And they're looking at launching Turf, which is their land sale for later this quarter, Q1 2022. Also looking at launching business licenses. You can go ahead and operate a business and earn some money that way. What's up, Crypto Marcoco? All right, so when we look at the roadmap, this is where we are right here. NFT presale IDO, game module live, late January, marketplace live. And if you look here, development of V2 mobile game, Central Exchange listings, Guild Wars, full launch. One thing I think is interesting, if you look at this thing, we already touched on the price right here, but right now it's trading at 0.06. And if you go back and you look at the early founders, the participants in the IDO, what they paid as an early offering to get access to this project was 0.07 cents. You actually get it cheaper than the people who participated in the fair launch right now. You gotta love early holders offloading on new folks. Currently only available on Uniswap. So, if you get a couple exchange listings in there, you got a solid team behind you with a lot of game experience. The game itself looks pretty darn cool. And they have a relationship with Binance, because Binance is the one that they set up their initial NFT sale through. So, highly speculative, not financial advice. But I think this would be something that's worth looking at. Next project we're going to talk about is Immutable X. Now, we covered Immutable X on this channel in detail, so I will go ahead and I'll link that up here if you want to watch the full breakdown. But in essence, what they're trying to do is they're trying to make the digital world real. That is their ambition. So they're targeting zero gas fees, instant trades, carbon neutral NFTs for marketplaces, games, and applications without compromise, enabling brands go ahead and build their NFT business in hours using their APIs. Now, you may or may not have heard this. They went ahead and announced a partnership just today with Gamestop, partnering with Immutable X to go ahead and distribute and create their NFT portfolio. And toot my own horn, toot, toot. Yeah, I did that. I don't care. I may or may not have called this out preemptively on the Patreon last night. Just saying. Steve Owens, what you got? Great videos. Bought some Gal yesterday, influenced by Peter Molyneux. I'm still playing black and white. Yeah, man. ITAM has been a good coin for me. All right, sweet. We'll look at it. All right. So what do we got here? So Immutable X went and announced that partnership with GameStop. Big deal. Now, when we look at the NFT space, it is exploding. 2021 was massive. $41 billion worth. But if you tried to do any transaction on Ethereum lately, you know that the fees are crippling. You pay more in fees than you do for whatever asset you're trading or engaging with. And so the whole benefit of using Immutable X is it allows you to keep the security of Ethereum while using their relatively complex technology to eliminate those fees and still make it trustless. I pulled this quote from an interview. Before launching Immutable X, developers had few alternatives. Move to another blockchain that provides more scalability, but a fraction of Ethereum's ecosystem and security, or use a sidechain. Neither are viable options for developers that want to prioritize revenue security and self-custody. Ferguson. Ethereum has a major problem. NFTs is the wave behind it, pushing it forward. And right now they're kind of at a bottleneck. And I think Immutable X is going to be the secret pill. Go ahead and allow that thing to rocket. So James Ferguson is the CEO. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he founded this with his brother. When I had pulled this quote up, I just thought it was interesting. How big is the NFT market? So the market for NFTs is growing very rapidly. We have seen the NFT market grow about 100 times year over year, which is some crazy growth. And that's with all those issues. So if Immutable X can be the cornerstone to go ahead and uncork some of those challenges around NFTs, what could that mean for us? Whenever we pull up the roadmap here, they got a bunch of stuff going on. In essence, the end vision is utopia. The world is more tradable. So taking assets from the real world, making them tradable NFTs through Immutable. Gotta love it. Now, again, from that GameStop partnership, they did have a little bit of a pump today. If we go all time, this protocol launched back in November, so it's still relatively young. All-time high is around $9. I think if you look at adding this to your portfolio, not financial advice, as a long-term hodl, I think you're going to be really happy with yourself. We pulled up some information from End of the Block. I called this a couple days ago when we covered Immutable X, but net network growth is showing bullish. We dive into what that means. In essence, total addresses, this is top line, I'm going to call that green, is continuing to go up and up and up. The price is kind of going down and down and down, but it just shows you that users are flocking to this protocol, and maybe it's an indicator of a changing tide. Now we look at the NFT space. It touches a lot of the areas. You got metaverses, games, utilities, art, sports, collectibles. There's a lot of room to run for this. We also went ahead, we took a look at their jobs page, because if you look at the jobs page, you can see that they have a bunch of money and they're hiring a bunch of people, probably to go ahead and do something really great. And if you can get ahead of that, maybe that's a good call. And they're hiring a ton of people, like a ton, like a lot of people, a lot of people. If you want Immutable X, it is on the Coinbase exchange. I will have my Coinbase referral link in the description down below. I think if you use it, it nets you $10, also nets me $10. Oh, there you go. Now the last project we're going to be talking about, I know it's one you all haven't even heard of, because that's the type of research I do. We're going to be talking about Perion. So Perion's goal is to create and distribute opportunity across the world by tapping the potential of Web3 gaming communities and positioning them as economic champions of tomorrow. So what they're doing here is they're a DAO, a gamer DAO, a play-to-earn gamer DAO, collecting the best players across the play-to-earn space, collectively buying NFTs through their DAO, leasing them to their players, taking advantage, in essence, of the play-to-earn games that they're participating in for maximum ROI, and then funneling those profits back into the DAO to go ahead and spin it up and continue to do it over and over and over. So win more. So Perion's bespoke strategies and allocations across NFT and gaming and Web3 economies have equipped us with a model that outpaces the competition and drives fast, sustainable success. Perion targets meta assets and connects the best gamers in the field with robust training programs and a rapid turnover tech pipeline. Maintain a world-leading asset base and talent pool. And then for more, some of the money they're going to make, they're going to go ahead and spin off to some of the communities where these players are from. If you didn't know, a lot of the play-to-earn folks typically are in maybe not first world countries. where they earn more money playing play-to-earn games than the local school teacher. And so it sounds like they're going to try to take some of that first world nation wealth coming into these games and go ahead and send it off to their local communities. I'm for that. All for it. Now, we touched on this already, talking about how their tech is going to drive the efficiency. Their team is everything. We go ahead and look at the founding team. This is the advisory board. If you're in my Discord, you may or may not have seen this, but Synthetics is super interesting. They were just on a podcast, The Breakdown with NLW. I don't know if you guys follow that, but it's a great podcast. And in essence, they're creating DAO infrastructures for any collective group of individuals to create a DAO. And so they, as a advisory member on this project, I know right off the bat, it likely is very real and very serious. When I pulled up an interview from one of the founders, Perion began in mid-2021 after our co-founder, Amos, reached #1 in the world at Axie Infinity. After his achievement, he came to myself and Jan, our other co-founder, and shared with us the model of NFT gaming. All of us had highly relevant skills for engaging in the space, and so we dove in. I run a quantitative trading firm, trading crypto futures, while other co-founder Jan was head of business development at a fiat to crypto on-ramp, partnered with exchanges such as Binance, Haboy, etc. The decision to move on NFT gaming was a simple one. I like it. I like it a lot. Is this the one on Cardano chain? No, I don't believe so. I'll double check here in a second. Now, another mention that they have in here going through their interview, Mitch was talking about the type of players that join. We have strict criteria to join Perion. Most of our players are ranked in the top 1% or higher of games, such as League of Legends, Dota 2, etc. It is very important for us to take the best gamers in the world, how we keep ahead of the competition and keep Perion winning. So by my take, if you have hundreds of millions of dollars buying some of the best NFT assets in these metaverse play-to-earn crypto games, blockchain games, and you're going ahead and you're turning it over to some of the best players in the world and then collecting a percentage of those proceeds to funnel back into your DAO to go ahead and do it more and more and more, sounds promising. Now, they went ahead and they had an initial DEX offering just 2 days ago, and it closed. It closed. We missed it. The initial price was around $1.20 up to $4.80, depending on the contributions that they received. But it went ahead and closed out around $1.53. Is the IDO price. So prior to it hitting the market. Now, if we go ahead and we pull up the roadmap, they got a bunch in here. Targeting initial central exchange listings, needing to deploy assets, purchasing assets, training players, all that good stuff. They also received a whole bunch of funding from big brands in the VC space. Animica Brands in particular is one that I follow with a great deal of trust. They also had Alameda Research, just a little tiny venture capital firm, followed slightly by Pantera Capital. Now, if you're wondering, hey, where the heck can I buy me some perk? Not Percocet, guys. Perion Crypto. Currently, it's only available on Gate.io with super low liquidity. If we go ahead and we look at the all-time chart, oh, it's not even going to load because look at the all-time chart. This thing listed actually just today. Hey, hot off the press. Started up here around $1.11 and went ahead and that's trading kind of downward sideways. So when I look at this thing, I compare it to Yield Guild Games. Yield Guild Games is another project that kind of has kind of that player-centric approach, targeting get players together collectively, use assets, help them win, help them make money. When we look at the total supply, 10,000 million billion, it's a billion tokens. If we compare that to Perk, only 100 million. So from a pricing standpoint, if they can go ahead and execute, and if they can show themselves as a competitor to Yield Guild Games, well over a $3 valuation for this asset seems reasonable. So boom, fast, quick, easy. 3 tokens that I'm following. I'm likely going to go ahead and purchase both Perk, Perion, as well as Syn City. And if you guys have been following me in Patreon, you know I already have stacks of Immutable X. So let me know. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Anything I missed, anything you think I should add. And what projects have I not mentioned that I should keep my eye open for. Boom.